I'm no mechanic, but I gotta try to fix something on the fit. But it's gonna be episode 135, and I'm gonna talk about things and explore things that bring energy and purpose and meaning to your life. I talk about Stephen Covey's book frequently, in his 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, and I misquoted one in a different video. I said it was sharpen the plow. It's actually sharpen the saw, and within that principle are the idea of personal renewal. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that in this video as well. So kind of that's the direction we're going here, is what gives meaning to your life and gives you energy and gets you ready to go into the next creative phase. Working on cars is not one of the things for me, but it's a necessity that's got to be done. So wish me luck. Stand by for some time lapse. Now this couldn't possibly go bad. So what we're dealing with is these little plastic things that go and hold these pieces of plastic together. So they expand when that makes the plastic stick. It's all plastic, everything's plastic. All right, so it appears that the one that I got in is the only one, if I compare this side that I was fiddling with to the other side. So there's apparently only a spot for the one. So I'm gonna call this, I'm gonna stop. I don't know if it's done, but I'm stopping. And I guess I should take the rocks out from underneath the back tire, because the person who drives this car may not appreciate the gesture. All right, I'm gonna get all this put away and get on with the video I actually wanted to make. So when you think about, like, wow, I'm just like totally fried, I need to refresh, I need to do something and recharge. What is it that you do? What are the things that you do? And ultimately what I'm going to propose in this video is that sometimes you need to stop and do whatever that is. So we're going to get moving here. I've got a couple things I have in mind I want to pick up for the video, and so here we go. I can't even, that's because that's the key to the Honda. Yeah. Not gonna start. Not gonna start the Tahoe. It always takes 2 tries. 148,000 miles. I've only had it for about a year. If you're new to my channel. All right, seatbelt on, camera off. So I've come to the high school where I teach for this thought on things that refresh us and renew us, and I started to go to the library, but it's 7 o'clock. I think the library's closed, and if you've been around for a while, you know that it's apparently private property when the library's closed. And so that's what our police department has told me. So I don't want to go there and cause any trouble. So I came here instead. And I want to talk about a category that some people draw from that is refreshing and re-energizing. And I'm just going to call it book stuff. Because it's 2 kinds of things. There's 2 things. A lot of people like to read fiction. A lot of people like to read for pleasure. and that gives them the recharge, and it reinvigorates their creative juices, and it inspires them to think new thoughts and do new things. And some people actually do like scholarly reading or factual reading, or they'll read up on something. Sometimes my stepdaughter will read things on like sharks and things that are, it's like, wow, that surprises me that that's an interest of hers. And similar to that is people will consume visual information. Let's just call it, YouTube videos on certain specific topics. Some people like look at woodworking or whatever. They're looking at factual information videos, and that gives them inspiration, and that gives them that recharge that they're looking for. So I came here for that. I'm just gonna call it book stuff for now. That people will find book stuff as a way of reinvigorating their creative juices. So next stop is actually across the parking lot. So another thing that a lot of people rely on, which reinvigorates and re-energizes and re-inspires them, is exercise and fitness. So this is tennis courts and track and football field. And I thought this would be kind of like a symbol of that mentality. People who like to go out and just get their run in, or get their bike in, or go lift weights, and these are all things that some people will take time and invest time in. And not only does it have a effect on them physically, but it has an equally beneficial effect on them in the way they think, and the way they feel, and their emotions, and it gets them ready to do their next creative act, or it gets them ready to go back to work and do the thing that they're supposed to do. So fitness and exercise and all the things that are connected to that, those are another way that people can invest in their physical well-being, and as well as just their whole overall personal well-being. And so clearly we're heading to the place where the point is going to be find your thing and do that. But I got a couple more places before we get to that point. All right, one more thing. I don't think I need to say much more. Recharge, refresh, re-inspire, ice cream. I drove past an auto parts store, and that reminded me, a lot of people like to work with their hands as a way of refreshing. A lot of people like to get the wrenches out, and obviously in the beginning of this video you can see that's not me. I don't dislike it, I'm just, it's not something I've spent a lot of time doing. Or I used to do woodworking, I loved it. I'd go out in the garage and build tables and things. It would just be like so recharging. At that time I was working in technology. I was writing code, which is one side of the brain, and so if maybe it's working with your hands, maybe that's something that reinvigorates you. So I've come to the park, this Evergreen Park. I want the park to remind us of the people in our lives who add energy to us. The social aspects of being a human are very, very important. And a lot of people find it as that one thing, that thing that most inspires them and most energizes them, is being around their friends and their family, and being with loved ones, and going out and meeting new people, and just going out. And so that's another way that the creative juices can be reinvigorated. That's another way that we can be refreshed and ready to go back to the grind of the everyday work. Is finding those social connections that are meaningful and important to us. Closely connected to the social is, for some people, for a lot of people, is a spiritual connection to the Creator of the universe. And for me, that's a real important way of refreshing and recharging. And a lot of times, just stopping and being still and being in the moment and connecting to your faith, connecting to the things that you believe, and taking that little bit of time. That's the thing that some people need in order to recharge and refresh. I've said in other videos that my faith foundation is the Christian tradition. And so I've come to a church with the steeple and everything to symbolize that, and to connect spiritually is the thing that means the most to some people, and all the other things build on top of that. And so I came here last. A lot of times when I go out to shoot videos like this or other videos, and I'll get to a place where it's quiet, and I'll sit at a picnic table quietly for a little while by myself, or at the boat ramp. I go to this boat ramp place. I'll just sit there and use that time to reconnect and to reinvigorate. And so whatever your thing is, whatever it is that did I mention ice cream, by the way? Ice cream. But whatever it is for you, I'm sorry. I just completely diluted this whole last scene, right? But whatever it is for you, make sure you're putting some time in your schedule. Don't fill your entire schedule up so that you have no margin left, so that you have no time left. It is really golden hour now, and so I can see I got the glasses on, I can look at the viewfinder. I can see I look like a big red tomato wearing. This is teal, by the way. This is not green, it's not mint. This is legitimately a teal shirt. I've had that problem. By the time I color grade this, it'll be orange. I have no idea. All right, too much. Find that thing that reinvigorates you. Find that thing that recharges you. If it's a spiritual connection, then dig into that and spend some time doing that. And if it's something else, then do what it is. All right, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, leave me a question. Let me know what you're thinking. How do you go about getting ready to be creative, or getting ready to be routine, which is equally challenging sometimes? Getting ready to go back and do that same thing over and over again. How do you recharge? How do you refresh? How do you sharpen your saw? Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. It's gonna be a tricky edit. I don't know how that's gonna fit in there, but that was good stuff. Don't let your creative juices run out because you haven't taken time to sharpen the saw.